Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to reflect upon a concept that is as old as human nature itself, but still as powerful today: gratitude. How often do we find ourselves distracted by the busyness of life, yearning for something more, without pausing to consider the fullness of what we already possess? Today I ask you to explore the relationship between a grateful heart and a fuller life. Gratitude, at its core, is not merely a fleeting moment of thanks or a response to something given. It is a state of being that illuminates the soul. To live gratefully is to see the beauty in the world, even when it is clouded by difficulty. A grateful heart does not deny the challenges we face, but invites us to focus on the good amidst them. This shift in perspective transforms our outlook on life, reminding us that abundance is not measured solely by material wealth or the absence of pain, but by the richness of relationships, the kindness we offer, and the joy we find in simple moments. It opens our eyes to the countless gifts we often overlook. Gratitude opens the door to a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of life. We are all part of something far greater than ourselves. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the opportunities we are given, all of these are sustained by countless others, seen and unseen. In gratitude, we begin to recognize the intricate web that connects us to each person we encounter: the stranger who holds the door for us, the friend who offers a listening ear, the teacher who imparts wisdom. All these are part of our collective experience. By acknowledging this, we begin to appreciate not only what we have, but also the role we play in shaping the world for those who come after us. Gratitude does not leave us content with passivity, however. It stirs within us a sense of responsibility. A grateful heart does not remain idle, it seeks to act. It is the impulse to give back, to lift others up, to share the good we have received. This is where purpose is born. When we recognize the gift of life itself, we are moved to make something meaningful of it. We no longer live for mere self-interest, but are compelled by the understanding that a fuller life is one spent in the service of others, in the pursuit of justice, in the fostering of compassion, and in the strengthening of communities. Gratitude, in its simplest form, is often thought of as the polite acknowledgement of a favor or a thank you for a gift received. However, when we delve deeper into the nature of gratitude, it becomes clear that its significance stretches far beyond these moments of social decorum. Gratitude is a mindset, a way of viewing the world that has the potential to reshape not only our emotional state, but the way we experience life itself. It is the art of shifting focus from what is missing to what is abundant. When we cultivate a grateful heart, we are fundamentally changing the lens through which we perceive our world. In this process, gratitude becomes a transformative force that impacts our daily lives in powerful ways. In a world often dominated by consumerism and material desire, it is easy to feel like we never have enough. The advertisements we see, the expectations set by society, and the pressures of modern life push us to constantly strive for more. More money, more success, more possessions. This mindset breeds a sense of scarcity, where we measure our worth and happiness based on what we lack, rather than what we have. It is this very mentality that leaves many individuals feeling empty and unfulfilled, despite outward success. Gratitude, in stark contrast, flips this script. Rather than focusing on what is absent, gratitude asks us to look at what is already present in our lives. When we begin to practice gratitude, we start to notice the wealth that already exists within our reach. Gratitude helps us see the small, often overlooked gifts that make life richer. A hot cup of coffee in the morning, the smile of a loved one, the warmth of the sun on our face, the simple act of breathing. These are all gifts that, when acknowledged with a thankful heart, have the power to bring us a deep sense of fulfillment. The practice of gratitude encourages us to pause and recognize that even the ordinary moments are extraordinary when seen through the lens of appreciation. Gratitude is not just about material things or immediate comforts. It can be directed toward the people in our lives, the relationships that nurture and support us. We often take for granted the love and care we receive from friends, family, and even strangers. A grateful heart recognizes the contributions of others, both large and small, and understands that we do not walk this path alone. When we practice gratitude in our relationships, it strengthens bonds, fosters empathy, and creates an environment where mutual respect and care can flourish. Gratitude allows us to see the inherent value in others and motivates us to express our thanks, which in turn enriches both our lives and theirs. What is often overlooked, however, is the role of gratitude in shaping our mental and emotional well-being. Research has shown that people who regularly practice gratitude experience a range of positive effects, including lower levels of stress, reduced symptoms of depression, and higher levels of happiness. The act of focusing on what we are thankful for shifts our attention away from negativity, helping to break the cycle of rumination that so often feeds anxiety and despair. By intentionally reflecting on the good in our lives, we are rewiring our brains to recognize and savor the positive experiences. This not only improves our mood in the short term, but builds resilience over time, enabling us to face challenges with a more optimistic outlook. Gratitude also has the power to deepen our sense of purpose. When we are thankful, we start to realize that our lives are shaped by a complex web of influences: our upbringing, the choices of others, the support we receive, and even the simple kindness of strangers. This awareness fosters a sense of interconnectedness and helps us appreciate the importance of our own role in the greater scheme of things. A grateful heart is not content with mere passive receipt. It compels us to give back and contribute to the well-being of others. In this way, gratitude leads to a more fulfilling and purposeful life, one where our actions are aligned with a deeper sense of meaning. A grateful mindset cultivates patience and contentment. In a world where we are constantly encouraged to achieve and accumulate, gratitude teaches us to appreciate the present moment and the value of what we already have. This doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement, but it shifts our approach. Instead of constantly pursuing the next thing in the hopes that it will bring happiness, we learn to find joy in what we already possess. We become less attached to external outcomes and more grounded in the peace that comes with acknowledging life as it is. A grateful heart not only changes how we see the world, but also deepens our understanding of the interconnectedness of life itself. Life is rarely a solitary journey. We are surrounded by countless individuals, each contributing in some way to our experience. From the food we eat to the air we breathe, from the clothes on our backs to the opportunities we seize, the very fabric of our existence is woven by the actions, efforts, and generosity of others. Yet, in the hustle and bustle of daily life, we often overlook this intricate web of connections. Gratitude, however, forces us to recognize these relationships, prompting us to see how deeply we are linked to those around us. and even to the world at large. Such outrageous praise is the secret of being successful in life. One of the most profound shifts that gratitude brings is an awareness of our dependence on others. In the modern world, it is easy to fall into the trap of believing that we are entirely self-made, that our successes and comforts are solely the result of our own efforts. In other words, we live in a myth. We see individuals in positions of power, fame, or wealth, and we often forget that their achievements are supported by a vast network of unseen contributions, whether it is the labor of workers, the creativity of collaborators, or the kindness of mentors. A grateful heart challenges this individualistic mindset, reminding us that no one achieves greatness in isolation. Our lives are built on the efforts and sacrifices of countless others, many of whom may never be recognized for their contributions. At the same time, gratitude fosters a deep appreciation for the role we play in the lives of others. Just as we benefit from the contributions of others, we too have the power to influence and shape the lives of those around us. Whether through simple acts of kindness or more significant gestures of support, we are constantly impacting the people in our lives. Gratitude helps us become more aware of this responsibility, encouraging us to act with greater intentionality and care. It reminds us that our actions ripple out and affect the world in ways we may not always see or understand, but that are nonetheless significant. In recognizing this interconnectedness, gratitude also shifts our focus from isolation to community. It is easy to view ourselves as separate entities, each pursuing individual goals. However, when we truly embrace the interconnectedness of life, we begin to see that our personal well-being is tied to the well-being of others. This realization has a profound impact on how we engage with the world. Our common humanity is tied to the world together. Instead of viewing others as competitors or obstacles, we start to see them as partners in a shared journey, each contributing in their own way to the collective good. Gratitude, in this sense, opens the door to greater empathy, understanding, and cooperation. It encourages us to act with kindness, not just for our own benefit, but for the benefit of the greater whole. This sense of interconnectedness is not limited to our human relationships. Gratitude also allows us to recognize our deep connection to the natural world. The earth sustains us in countless ways, providing us with the resources we need to live. From the water we drink to the food we eat, to the shelter that protects us. Yet all too often, we take these gifts for granted, forgetting the delicate balance that allows them to exist. By practicing gratitude, we begin to see the world not as a collection of resources to be exploited, but as a living system to be cherished and protected. This perspective fosters a sense of stewardship, urging us to act in ways that honor the environment and the generations that will follow us. Gratitude, therefore, expands our sense of interconnectedness to include not only our fellow humans, but the entire planet and all the creatures with whom we share it. The awareness of interconnectedness that gratitude fosters also leads to a deeper understanding of our shared humanity. Despite the many differences that may divide us, whether they be cultural, racial, or ideological, gratitude allows us to see the common threads that bind us together. We all share the same fundamental needs, the need for love, connection, purpose, and meaning. When we practice gratitude, we begin to appreciate these universal aspects of the human experience, which can bridge divides and foster a greater sense of unity. In the world that often seems fractured by division and conflict, Gratitude has the power to remind us that, at our core, we are all part of the same human family. Gratitude teaches us humility. It humbles us by showing that we are not the center of the universe and that our lives are part of a much larger story. In recognizing our interconnectedness, we begin to see that we are but one thread in a vast tapestry of existence. This recognition is not something to diminish us, but to free us from the burden of self-centeredness and entitlement. It teaches us to approach life with humility, to recognize our limitations, and to accept that we are not in control of everything. As we cultivate gratitude, we also begin to recognize that our lives are intertwined with the past and the future. We are the beneficiaries of the sacrifices, struggles, and achievements of those who came before us. The wisdom, traditions, and values that have been passed down through generations shape who we are and how we view the world. Gratitude encourages us to honor this heritage and to live in a way that is mindful of the legacy we will leave for future generations. In this way, the practice of gratitude is not just about the present moment, but about acknowledging our place in a long and ongoing story. A life filled with gratitude naturally leads us to live with greater purpose, and this connection between gratitude and purpose is one of the most profound aspects of the practice. At its essence, a grateful heart does not remain passive or complacent. It seeks to act. The recognition of all that we have been given and the understanding of our interconnectedness with others creates a deep sense of responsibility. Rather than viewing life as a series of random events or an endless pursuit of personal gain, gratitude directs our attention to how we can contribute to the world, shaping a life of meaning and intentionality. When we experience gratitude, we often realize that our lives are not only shaped by external circumstances, but also by the choices we make. Acknowledging the gifts we have received encourages us to be mindful of the choices we make in return. Gratitude brings clarity and awareness, allowing us to live more deliberately, not simply as passive recipients of life's blessings, but as active participants in its unfolding. Gratitude arises from living in the moment. We begin to see that each action we take, no matter how small, can have a lasting impact on others. It is in this realization that purpose is born. This shift towards purposeful living doesn't necessarily mean pursuing grand gestures or monumental achievements. It is about the quiet, everyday decisions that align with our values and intentions. When we live with gratitude, we are more likely to make choices that reflect a deeper sense of care for others, our communities, and the world around us. Gratitude teaches us to value relationships, to take time for the people who matter, and to show kindness in ways that may seem insignificant, but are in reality profound. Every act of gratitude has the potential to create a ripple effect, influencing not only our own lives, but the lives of those we encounter. It leads us to understand that purpose is often found in the smallest of actions. Whether it is helping a neighbor, offering a word of encouragement, or simply being present for someone in need. Purpose also arises from a deeper understanding of what we value most. Gratitude helps us strip away the distractions and superficial desires that often cloud our judgment and focus. When we pause to reflect on what truly matters, we begin to uncover the core values that guide our lives. These values, such as love, integrity, kindness, or justice, become the compass by which we navigate our choices. A life grounded in gratitude naturally gravitates toward these values, and in doing so, finds a more profound sense of direction. Gratitude makes us aware of the importance of living in alignment with our deepest principles, which in turn leads to a life of purpose. Gratitude encourages us to reflect on the broader picture of our existence. It helps us see that our lives are not merely about fulfilling personal desires, but also about contributing to the greater good. When we are grateful, we acknowledge that we are part of a community, a society, and a world that is constantly in need of care and improvement. Gratitude asks us to look beyond ourselves and consider how we can make a positive difference in the lives of others. It invites us to live in service, not just in the fulfillment of our own needs, but in the pursuit of something greater, whether that is helping others, fighting for justice, or contributing to the well-being of future generations. This sense of service and contribution to something larger than ourselves is a key driver of purpose. When we give of ourselves, whether through time, resources, or energy, we experience a sense of fulfillment that is not tied to material gain or self-interest. It is the fulfillment that comes from knowing we are making a meaningful difference in the lives of others, and in doing so, fulfilling a larger, more enduring purpose. A life built on gratitude naturally moves towards service because the awareness of how much we have received compels us to give back. This giving is not driven by obligation, but by a heartfelt desire to share what we have been given with others, to help alleviate suffering, to foster well-being, and to contribute to the common good. Gratitude fosters resilience and perseverance, two qualities that are essential in the pursuit of purpose. Life is filled with challenges, and the path to meaningful work is rarely smooth or linear. When we are faced with adversity, gratitude helps us see that even in difficult moments, there is something valuable to be learned, something to be appreciated. This perspective enables us to face setbacks with strength and determination, knowing that our efforts are part of a greater purpose. The more we practice gratitude, the more we cultivate the resilience needed to stay committed to our goals, no matter how difficult the journey may become. Gratitude also enables us to stay connected to our sense of purpose, even in times of uncertainty or doubt. There are moments in life when we may question the meaning of our work, our relationships, or our contributions. During these times, gratitude acts as an anchor, reminding us of the larger picture and the significance of what we do. It helps us to reconnect with our values, our vision, and our mission, which gives us the strength to continue moving forward. In this way, gratitude not only helps us discover purpose, but also sustains it over time, ensuring that we remain aligned with our true calling even when external circumstances become challenging. As we live with gratitude, we begin to understand that our purpose is not something we find once and for all, but rather something that is continually shaped and refined through our experiences, our relationships, and our actions. Gratitude allows us to embrace the unfolding nature of purpose. It encourages us to be open to new opportunities, to learn from our mistakes, and to adjust our course when necessary. This flexibility is essential in the pursuit of purpose, as it allows us to grow and evolve in ways that align with our deepest values.